the last 8 years delivering big laughs as Raj, the romantically challenged astrophysicist who's helped make CBS's The Big Bang Theory the most watched comedy in the universe. And later this month, he'll be taking his talents to late night when he gets behind the desk of The Late Late Show as a special guest host. Take a look.
Good morning.
Oh, the IT guy's here.
That is the most narrow-minded, stereotypical thing a person could possibly say. My name is Kunal Nayyar. I'm hosting The Late Late Show.
I was talking about the guy behind you.
Oh. This is almost showtime.
Please welcome our good friend, Kunal Nayyar!
This is really good for my ego.
Now, earlier on, we were talking about 50 Shades of Grey, and we were talking about whether your partner
Makes me giggle.
would want to see you in a love scene.
Well, first of all, everyone would want to see me in a love scene. But we kind of have this rule that if I'm in a scene where I'm, doing some things with a lady that may be questionable, then she won't be on set watching. Just because then it'll be hard for me as an actor to completely commit, knowing that my wife is watching the monitor.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But luckily on Big Bang, I don't have to worry about that. So. Yeah, exactly.
Now, you recently posted a picture of you and your dog Boba Fett on Twitter watching the Miss Universe pageant with the hashtag No Pants Saturday. Did you make it through the entire Saturday with no pants?
Well, first of all, what happened is I posted that picture and then I realized that I was watching the Miss Universe pageant and I had posted that I'm not wearing any pants.
Something different.
And I was like, then I deleted it. And then I wrote back, it's ironic, that, and then I tried to make light of it. But my wife was a former Miss India, so it's really fun watching the pageants with her perspective, Because she's like, oh, that girl's going backstage and is about to cry. And oh my God, that girl doesn't like that girl. I'm like, how do you know all this? And she's like, it's an unspoken language, It's really fun.
So, Kunal, you say that manners are very important to you. What is something rude that people do that drive you nuts?
I think there's a couple of things. One, the first thing that drives me nuts is when you're in traffic and you let someone in, because you can see them. They've been sitting there with a turn signal on, and I get it. And you let them in, and then they don't thank you.
Oh,
Like, what are parents teaching their kids anymore? I don't get it.
Right.
No, the worst one that actually doesn't even make sense is when the elevator opens and people come in before you get out. They start coming in and you're like, wait, can I? And then they look at you weird if you brush by them. And I'm like, wait, no. The way this works is when the doors open, I come out and then
you go in.
I don't know.
And then, are there words that people use that irritate you?
Panties. That's the word that freaks me out.
By the way,
it's the word that freaks me out.
It's so cute when you say that. Sexy. Why panties?
I'm with you. That's a weird word.
All I can see is Sharon saying, panties?
Here's
I don't know,
another
it's so
one.
weird.
Slacks.
I have a friend who says egg instead of egg. Yeah, egg or rough instead of roof. By the way, I can't complain.
Are they from Australia? Because they get eggs in Australia.
She's from Los Angeles. But, no, but I can't can't complain because I'm, you know, with my accent, I say the weirdest things. Like, instead of esophagus, we say esophagus. And instead of intestines, we say intestines.
Really?
And we say advertisement instead of advertisement. So I can't really complain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
Esophagus.
What is he talking
Yeah, exactly.
So we just saw a picture of your insanely beautiful wife, Neha, and she is a former Miss India.
Yeah.
You met her in a crowded bar. So tell us, I love this story because you told it before to me, not on the show. Not in private. Okay, anyway, that sounded weird on my podcast. But it's a really great story. So tell us about what you did
You
that
just
won
dig, just
her
keep
over.
digging. Look, I know I have an effect on women. I got it.
It wasn't until you said the word intestine that I melted. So tell us how you won her over.
Well, she's very tall. She's 5'10", and I'm 5'8". And she was wearing 5-inch heels, which makes us 6'3". And so we were at this. We were mutually introduced to this bar. And I was like, oh, whatever. She's, you know, I was so insecure that I was already judging her because she was pretty. And I saw her, and she was very sweet. And I said, sit down, I'll buy you a drink.
Now, you're going to be taking over the Late Late Show, right?
Yeah.
So for 3 nights later this month, do you like hosting? Is that something that comes naturally?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's what you guys do is incredibly difficult. It's an art, you know, to be a good listener. That's what I found is like, I am in this seat with Billy Bob Thornton, and he was one of my first guests, and I'm sitting there, I was like, and I had this voice in my head saying, wow, I never knew, you know, when I moved to the country in 1999 that this is what my life was going to be. I was dreamt about it, you know, and then I was there and I was listening to Billy Bob talk about why his band is called Boxmaster, and which you'll have to tune in and find out. But I just, you know, and I had a voice that was like, wow, and I had like an invisible pat on my own back, and I was like, you know, something worked out, and it was really magical. So, thank you.
Much more with Kunal Nair when we come right back.
I'm worried about the New Horizons space probe.
What's he talking about?
9 years ago, he was part of a team that launched a spacecraft to collect data about Pluto. It's finally close enough, so this morning it turned itself on.
Well, we hope. The signal has to travel over 3 billion miles, so it's going to be hours before we know if it even survived.
And now we get to see him flip out because he's worried it was demolished by space ice.
Space ice is no joke. Can't even watch Frozen anymore.
Congratulations on the amazing success of Big Bang, which is television's most watched comedy. And you've been playing Raj for 8 years, which is hard to believe. But that means that your hair has been flat ironed hundreds of times. So has that caused any problems for you?
Yeah, well, in real life, in this HD camera, you can tell that I actually have like curly hair.
Cute.
And but on the show, they flat iron it. And it's funny because sometimes we tape on a Tuesday night, and sometimes after taping, it'll be 11 p.m., I'll get home, and I'll remove all my makeup, and I'll go to bed, and I'll wake up and go to the gym the next day. And first of all, I show up at the gym with perfectly straightened, coiffed hair and everything. At like 7:30 in the morning. But then when I begin to sweat, all the hairspray that's in my hair to keep it like that starts like melting down my face. I'm burning my eyes. And so my skin is like melting off because of the hairspray that is like coming out of my hair. So, so I guess the moral of the story is I should probably shower after a tape.
The show's millions of fans, they can and they do reach out to you on social media. Have you ever been shocked by some of the things that they say?
Yeah, look, I think Twitter, you know, and I think everyone can attest to this, everyone, that Twitter is really fun because it gives you look into somene's life, or Instagram, you know, but at the same time, it also leaves you open to a lot of people. And, you know, as artists, we're already pretty insecure people, so I'll read like 99 amazing comments, you know, like, oh, I love Big Bang, but there'll be one person who'll be like, go home to your country, you idiot, or something like that. And then you're like,
behave.
I'm like, but I will forget that I just, you know, read 99 amazing comments, and I'll just be stuck on that one, or someone will say like, you're not that good an actor. Which is, first, you know, and then someone will say it in like, they won't even be speaking English correctly, and not that I can attest to that, but I'm saying, but my point is that I think it's hard. Like, I want to live a private life, but it's also nice sharing my life with people. And then when I meet people outside of the Big Bang world, like, they expect me to be Raj, and when I'm not, it kind of angers them, or it kind of like disappoints them, you know. So they'd be like, hey, Raj, like, talk to me, I'm a woman, have you been drinking or something? And it's sweet, you know, I understand where it's coming from. But it's hard, because sometimes I'm like, hey, nice to meet you, or something. You know what I don't understand? Here's what I don't understand. Every time people meet me now, they want a picture, which I understand.
Right.
But that's changed. The last 10 years has changed. Like, when I used to meet people I loved or I admired, I would want to shake their hand and find out who they were. And like, hey, man, I'm a big fan. You've done this for me, done this for me. Thank you. But now it's like, before they even ask anyone asks a question, it's like, let's take a picture. And I feel like society is living their life through a lens right now. And I wish we could just put it down and have a conversation.
Sure.
Maybe I'm being too old-fashioned about it, but I don't know.
No, I just want to ask you for a picture when the commercial comes.
No, it's okay.
Now, Raj is finally in a serious relationship.
Yeah.
But it's a bit kinky. Right? Now, do you think this relationship will last? And do you like kinky?
1 second. One question at a time. Do I think it'll last? Yeah, of course. Look, Laura's a wonderful girl, and Emily's a great character to have, and she brings Raj out of his shell, you know. So I think it'll last, but things in his romantic life have not gone well, so it's not always easy to predict. Do I like kinky? How do I answer that question?
Yeah.
That's a yes.
Is there a person in the universe who doesn't like kinky?
Kunal Nair, everyone. The Big Bang Theory airs tonight at 8. And don't forget to catch Kunal guest hosting The Late Late Show February 27th through February 25th through the 27th at 12:35 a.m. Both shows air right here on CBS. We'll be right back.